Hello. We're just going to wait a moment as people join. Hopefully everybody's having a nice day over here, or start of your day. At the moment, unfortunately, you can't really see too much. Maybe if I move a little, you can see that it is snowing here. Granted, they haven't picked up the snow. The snow hasn't melted from the last time. Hello, Stevie. How are you today? And so they haven't even cleared everything up from last time it snowed. So this will be fun, especially as cash is starting to pile up and they have not collected it. Hopefully soon. Hi, Justin. Yeah, you guys are also getting more snow, Stevie? Yeah, it is definitely snowing here. That's definitely a thing. But, yeah. It's okay. We like snow when I don't have to go out in it. Ooh, Maddie's getting better with his numbers. That's great to hear. Right, so let's check. No questions yet? And that is perfectly a-okay. I'll just start chatting otherwise, but feel free to, put some questions in there. He loves numbers and dice. Well, there are so many different dice out there. Like, I don't play D&D that often, but my husband and I, definitely my husband, collect dice, the nice, D20s and full sets and stuff.
You could show some of
I just got permission to show some, so I'm just stepping away, but I am here. Let's see, what do we got here? Couple here. There are more underneath, but just give me a second. I'm not sure I want to dig in all that, but my husband, and apologize if the camera lighting is not great, but again, working from home, figuring this out. Okay, so here we got a nice big D20. I believe this one, if it lands on 20, it used to light up. I don't think it lights.
It does. Big land on 20.
Okay, so this one, if it lands on 20, I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, put it over here. Okay, so this one, when it lands on 20, lights up because that's a good crit. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Again, I've just gotten my husband lots of dice. We've got aluminum dice. And again, I actually asked for some nice pretty dice myself for my birthday, but we got these aluminum. Sorry, gotta figure out how the camera's working here. D6s here. My husband really likes the metal dice because they're heavier and I think they roll better. He's a big fan of metal dice, but I've gotten him a variety. So if you need to roll multiple D6s, again, sorry about the camera, I'm figuring it out. These internal dice are really cool. So at least in this one, it has 3 mini D6s in it. You shake it, you roll it, and then you get the numbers. In this case, it's 3, 3, and 5. So we got mini dice here. And Justin, I, of course, would give you a hug the next time I see you. I miss you. We got some really cool, again, blue dice here. And again, this is just this just happened to be what's on the desk right now. Like, we have way more mini dice. We have these tiny metal dice. I forget what These are, I do not recommend these particular dice for Maddie as they are tiny and can choke on those, but those are just a handful of our dice. I know I'm currently looking at, and these are pricey dice that I'm looking at right now, is this Amethyst set, D20 set, because Amethyst is my birthstone, and there were also these really pretty kitty dice, stone dice, so those are the dice that I'm looking at. But I even have a little dragon in my bedroom that's like a D20, regular size D20 dice holder. So things like that. Yeah, we've got some pretty cool dice here. And we have one that you put them in the sun and then they glow in the dark. So those are, so we use those ones like around Halloween and stuff. That's again just a small, hello. I have a cat here wanting treats, but anyway, we have a friend who visits, kind of part of our pod now, and she sits where I am right now normally and just can't say no to the cute kitty cat eyes and just feeds him treats like there's no tomorrow. And now he is trained to sit here thinking he's gonna get treats, and he's giving me these big wide eyes. Yes, you. I don't know if I can show you guys. So try. But as you can see, maybe. Oh, no, no. He ran away. But I tried. Anyway, he thinks this spot is now treat spot. And again, I'm not ignoring your questions. I was just finishing up that question with about the dice. Again, my husband and I do like our dice. Makeup palettes. Whew, that's a hard question for me to answer. So I have been fortunate that in many cases, my friends like Aloria Cosplay, Alexa, even my sister has done it for me, Kate, like I am terrible at makeup. I'm working on it, but because I don't like to do it because it makes my face feel bad. Like I don't react well to it, so I only wear it for cosplay and special occasions. But I've been very lucky that I've had friends do a lot of my makeup. So I don't really choose. I usually focus when I do it myself, and maybe my friends can chime in the comments at some point. But I try to choose colors that match the character. So, for example, Honoka from Love Live, she has orange hair. So one of the things I need is a orange that kind of matches the wig that I have for Honoka to do my eyebrows. And just kind of add a little color to the eyebrow so the dark brown doesn't like stick out as much in the cosplay. I learned that from Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. Great cosplay friend from Korea. For Elsa, surprisingly, we use a lot of like purples, and for her, I actually looked up a YouTube video when I had to do it by myself for Elsa. So I looked at what the YouTubers recommend for the character. So a lot of if I'm doing it on my own, if it's my own costume, because I do a lot of closet stuff just for fun and put things together. Like one of the things I eventually want to put together is like an Arcanine cosplay because I love Arcanine. I got a lot of Arcanine stuff thanks to my husband. But I usually buy things with a lot of colors because especially with anime, there's just so many different colored hair and stuff and unique characters that having a variety of colors really helps. When I was living in Korea and I brought a lot of the makeup back, my friend Alexa and Aloria Cosplay, Anna, they helped me pick out a whole bunch of colors and stuff. And like some of it obviously dried out and stuff, but like the eyeshadows and stuff I still have. And just a lot of like for Princess Anna, especially the coronation, I use this like green and pink mix that looks really fabulous with it. But definitely it depends on the character, and I either go with a friend's recommendation, like you can ask Aloria Cosplay, I've messaged her, what color should I use for this character? Because, again, makeup's not my strong point. Or again, I might look up on YouTube, but having a variety of colors is important because with anime characters, which is the bulk of what I do, but I'm hopefully working on some more, hopefully. Bye, COVID. I want to cosplay again. But, hopefully we'll get that. So, I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it's good to have a variety. Love dice and need more. We have way too many dice that we don't need, but we have them because they're pretty and we like them. Like, Greg uses them all the time, and like if his D20s are not rolling well, he'll change sets and be like, "Nope, time for a different one."
Go to dice jail.
Yeah, it's called Dice Jail. So when you play Dungeons and Dragons, and he's both a DM and a player, I'm a player on rare occasions. But he's both the DM and a player, and so when the dice keep rolling badly for him, they go to dice jail. And this is a real thing, like for many players. And they switch out to another set. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark ones are cool. Haunted Tower's pretty cool. I don't know if it's because Growlithe and Arcanine look like tigers to me. So I think that might be why I like them, but either way, that's my favorite. I hope to put together a costume with that at some point. It'd be fun. Would I ever do Gothic Lolita? I have no problem against it. Again, the makeup might be a bit hard for me, but there's nothing wrong with Gothic Lolita. It's a fun genre to do. It's not something I would do like permanently, as some people, Lolita in general is like their style. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's my style. I mean, I'm definitely more simplistic than that. But I'll definitely do it for fun. I've done a kind of Gothic Lolita in a maid outfit before, which at some point I will post. I'll add it to the list of things that I'll slowly put on. As for would it look good on you, Stevie? Of course. Like I said last time in AMA, one of the big things is getting something that fits you properly. If you get an outfit or put together an outfit that is properly sized, it is likely to look much better on you than something that's not fitted. Which is why I always, like, even though it's more expensive, I at least get a minor tailored when I try to order. And I think moving forward, when I get my costumes, I may start just doing custom made, because even though it's a little more expensive, because one, I already don't have enough time to wear the costumes I have, and two, like the quality of them often are better. So yes, I think you could look fabulous in it. You just have to make sure you get something that fits you, that is your, one, is a style you like, and two, it's comfortable and, you know, not super baggy on you, not super tight. Like, you want it to fit properly. Just like you would go to the clothes store and buy a t-shirt. You're not going to get a t-shirt that's too small or too big. You want something that's comfortable for you. And that's why it's, you know, important to get something that fits you better, because you will always, always look better if it fits. But yes, I think you could look great. I usually play role plays and stuff, and like, Kairi from Kingdom Hearts is definitely one of my favorite video game characters. Asuna Yuki is another, though I got into her with the anime, not the video games. So, but I know it's Sword Art is very video game based as well. I have cosplayed as Asuna from the original first season of the anime. I love that. You've probably already seen pics of that. If not, I'm happy to post more. I think I recently posted one. Kairi, I have not done, and I actually really want to do Kairi because, one, the wig is short. I hate long wigs. They're heavy. They hurt. They're horrible to take care of. So, nice to have a short wig, and her costumes are pretty simple, meaning they'd be really comfortable at conventions and stuff. And that's important. I know we had a big chat last time. It was like, what costumes would you wear at a convention versus like a photo shoot? Like, not gonna lie, especially if you don't do well with crowds and stuff, go with the simpler costumes because they are much, much easier. Hi, Rachel. Welcome. It's much easier to move across. Do I prefer cosplay during meetups or conventions? They both have their own perks and stuff. And Stevie, that is actually my next, I just think I just posted that, Stevie, last week. Yeah, wigs. So let me tag you there, Stevie, because you talked about wig care, and my cosplay advice 2 days ago was wigs. So let me just tag you there, as that will help you, but I will answer a bit of that after I answer the previous question. I'll also tag you in the picture of Asana that I posted, since you asked. There you go. Okay, there we go. Back to the questions. Sorry about that. Let me go back to meetups and conventions. That is a hard question to answer because they both, like, you go to them for different things. So, if you're going to a convention, you're going there for the experience. You're going there to see all the different costumes. You're going there to check out the vendors. You're going there, especially those who make awesome costumes, to get, like, basically approval of your costume, for people to go gaga over them. Like, it feels good to be in a big convention and have lots of people stop you asking for pictures if you have a nice costume. I actually sometimes go in simpler costumes just because I get tired of it when I go in the nicer ones, but that doesn't happen too often these days. A lot of my costumes are not, the current thing, which is nice and fine. So when you're going to a convention, you're going there again, as I said, for the experience. Whether that experience is vendors and buying stuff or just people watching, it's the experience. Whereas with meetups, you're there frequently to get pictures taken and meet with friends and hang out. So at least that's been my experience. I would say because I love pictures and crowds, like, as much as I love conventions, crowds can really do me in. Like, I went to Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con once. I'm not sure I would ever go again because it was so crowded. It was hard to enjoy anything. And I literally had a panic attack going into it. And this is like someone who's regularly gone to conventions and stuff. And, like, my husband literally basically dragged me to a corner and got me food because it was just so crowded I couldn't function immediately. So for me, I think I would choose meetups just because, one, I love pictures, and you're more likely to get quality pictures at a meetup than you are at a convention, though there are definitely designated areas for taking pictures and stuff at conventions. But at least for me, I've been leaning towards meetups. In fact, I hope after COVID is over that I can host one here in New York City. We'll see if that happens because, it's been a while. But that is a goal of mine. All right, wig care. I am terrible, terrible, terrible at wigs. I mean, I did write up that post about them as cosplay advice, but it is something I do need to work on myself. So, wig care. Don't buy a cheap wig. It's not, unless it's something you're planning on tearing apart or only a one-time use, don't buy a cheap wig. With wigs, you want quality. You get more fibers, they tangle less, they're thicker so you don't see your scalp underneath. the wig as much. Like, don't go there. You also need to know whether the wig is heat resistant or not, because one of the ways to style a wig is to is to straighten it or use like a curling iron and flat iron on them, things like that. And that's something, you're ahead of me, Stevie. That's actually next Wednesday's product suggestion. But if you don't have a heat resistant wig, they're made out of, the cheaper wigs are often made out of plastic fibers, and you will melt the wig, which is why when you buy, I always check, does it say heat resistant when you're going to buy it, because that will determine how you take care of the wig. Other things is like some people use detanglers or conditioners on them. I personally do, because they do tangle and get knotted very easily. You want an actual wig brush. Yep, I will when I post it on Wednesday. If I'll try to remember, but it will actually be posted on Wednesday. Since I did wig care this week, I'm doing the Art of Wigs next week, which is the place I would recommend. So definitely get a wig brush, because they have wider tongs, wider teeth, which helps you keep the wig from tangling. But I also recommend like just fingering through the wig to help straighten it, or have a friend help you with it, because they tangle pretty easily. That's one of the reasons I prefer short wigs. Otherwise, there's a lot that goes into wig care. I'm not perfect. You're going to want to style it. Like, I have actual hair cutting scissors for my wigs, things like that. I recommend if you're getting a wig and you want to take care of it, definitely watch a lot of YouTube videos, because there are lots of people who do. Rachel, I'm happy to check it out. I am all about supporting mental health and in the cosplay community. I do think it's important, so I will definitely check it out. And the place that I'm going to recommend, and there are other places too, but Art of Wigs has always been a tried and true wig company. They are pricier, but they have a lot more color options. They have a lot more styles. They have quality wigs that are heat resistant. I have only bought one wig from them and ended up not being able to use it because of issues making the costume. Yeah. I don't fit normal standard videos. Will I post videos? Explain, what do you mean by post videos? Because I'm not sure what your question is asking. But yeah, if anybody has other suggestions for good quality wigs, please feel free to post it in the comments. I am happy to check them out. And just waiting for an update from Stevie on that one question about posting videos. I probably, at least not anytime soon, probably wouldn't post videos on wig care and usage, just because I struggle with it myself, and I'd rather be a little more confident in my own abilities before I give people like too much advice. I haven't done any of those yet, because again, I'm pretty, like, even though I have been cosplaying for a while, so I buy most of my costumes and wigs and things like that Rachel, I need you to explain your question more. Do you support mental geared to help show moral support for cosplayers' mental health? So I will mention, like, I'm happy to support people, but it is usually generally, first off, nice to ask before you promote your own pages on somebody else's page. I don't mind checking you out, but again, just for future reference, that it is, polite to ask before you promote yourself. And can you explain your question? What do you mean? Do you support mental geared to help show moral support for cosplayers' mental health? Like, what does that mean? I'll answer your second question while you're explaining that. And no, Apollo, you are not getting treats right now. I've been cosplaying since college. Like, I started small in college, did a little bit in Japan, not much, mostly like a Halloween party, but really got into it in South Korea. But I founded JCon my I co-founded JCon my second year, and that's when I got my first costume on my own, but I started like borrowing costumes and stuff probably the first year. So we're talking around 2008, 2009. So I've been cosplaying a good 12 years or so. So, I mean, I've been mostly low-key until Korea, when I got into more like the cosplay modeling and having fun with the photography, like getting the photos taken and stuff like that. But I would say 2008, 2009 is when I started. I haven't seen an update on the mental support question, but I do support mental health. I myself suffer from anxiety, my husband, depression, and many of my... No problem. I'm just saying in the future, it's always good to ask before you promote, especially if it's not your page and someone you're not as familiar with. But thank you. I appreciate the apology. So I do support mental health. As I was saying, I myself have anxiety, like severe panic attacks at times. My husband has depression. Many of my family members have various mental challenges, mental disorders, and I think it is underexplained. A lot of people, even some in my own family, don't believe it exists, and that is so sad because it's like so many people suffer from it, especially now with COVID, which has isolated a lot of people and made the anxieties and depressions and other mental health challenges worse. So I do support cause positivity and mental health. I'm very much of the opinion everybody should be able to cosplay, and that it should be a welcoming and non-toxic community where we help each other. I have been very lucky in that regard, where I've had many friends support me. I've supported them, and just very lucky so far myself. Like I said, I went to Comic-Con and had a breakdown. My husband took me to a corner and gave me food until I could calm down. Like, it is a thing, and it definitely needs more recognition and support in all communities, not just the cosplay community. Hopefully that answered your question. We are at the end of our segment for this week. I do this, or try to do this every Sunday, though I usually will tell you if I cannot. But I appreciate the support. I love answering these questions. I love seeing that I'm getting different people all the time. Some people are coming every day, or every time, and I'm getting new people, so that's always nice. Thank you for coming, and feel free to send me a message if you have other questions that weren't answered, or come again next Sunday. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and thank you again for coming.